Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to create a card for Newton's Nook Designs using a stamp set that's been in their shop for a little while. It's an oldie but goodie, and the images in here are so adorable. It's called Autumn Mice, perfect for the fall season. So we're going to create a fun card, and I do have the coordinating dies you can see there. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of stamping, not too much. There is an image in the stamp set. They're all super cute, but my favorite was the one that was kind of hugging the acorn, the little mouse hugging the acorn, kind of like I would like to do to a gallon of ice cream. I would love to hug it. Not really, I'm just teasing. But we are going to stamp this on some alcohol marker friendly cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. There's also two smaller leaf images in the stamp set. I'm going to stamp both of those on the same panel. Now I did leave the coloring in, guys. I'm going to play a little bit of music while I color. I speed it up just so it doesn't take the whole video, but I did list the colors for you guys that I used. And when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. Okay, coloring is just about done. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my die set. I got to separate them, and we're going to die cut out both of those leaves and that cute little mouse. Isn't he so cute hugging that acorn? Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tape these down and run these through my die cutting machine, and our images are good to go. And now we're going to work on our background. Now the background, I thought we'd bring in a couple pieces of pattern paper and then also do a little bit of ink blending. So I'm going to bring in some circle dies. These are circle frame dies from Newton's Nook Designs. I'm taking the two smaller circles in the set, and then also I'll take a banner from the Banner Trio, the Banner Die Trio set. Both of the circles I'll cut out with white cardstock. The banner, it is a warm gray, almost a similar color to my little mouse. That's where we're going to stamp our sentiment. I also die cut out a circle that was slightly larger than my largest stitch circle here with masking paper. I thought I wanted a ring around some circles just to give it a little bit of something different, and I wanted it to be white, so I'm going to actually put this mask on my panel here. We're going to make a landscape style card, so this is slightly smaller width-wise, I should say, than my card base. I trimmed about 3/4 of an inch off of an A2 panel. I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and after we have our sentiment stamped, I stamped it more or over to the left because the right we're going to tuck underneath those circles. We'll just put our stamp back, and then we're going to do a little blending. I wanted some very toned down colors, so I'm using a couple shades of Distress Oxide ink. I have Pumice Stone, and then I have Vintage Photo. Very neutral colors. And I'm going to add my Pumice Stone using my blending brush above the circle, just barely going out outside the line of my masking paper. And then with my two smaller circles, I'm going to just do a little shading on the top half. Now once we have this done, I'm going to bring in my Vintage Photo, flip my circles over, and do the bottom half with Vintage Photo. I'm going to do the same thing with my masking paper. I'm just slightly going over my masking circle. So basically we're kind of creating a halo, kind of like an eclipse kind of a look. And once I don't want to go too far outside of my mask here. I'm going to add a little bit more Pumice Stone. But another option would be to go ahead and punch a circle out of this panel and do the same thing without the mask. But I thought masking would be easier, and then it's easier to pop up this panel when I'm finished. But you can see it kind of creates a halo or an eclipse. And then with this being slightly smaller, you'll see that white ring. Kind of, it really draws your eyes to it. Now these two circles, what I'm going to do is flip them around so they're on opposite color sides. So my smaller one, Vintage Photos, on top, and the larger one, Vintage Photos, on the bottom. And then we're going to do the same thing when we adhere it to the center of that circle piece. Now I have my card base. We're going to take a 1-inch strip of some gray cardstock. It's the same gray cardstock that I used to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and place this on the bottom of my panel, trim off the excess. And then I have some red cardstock. I thought we would add some red underneath our panel here. And I'm thinking it's looking a little boring, so I'm bringing in something quick and easy, and this is a notebook punch. Had this for 100 years, but I still love it. I'm just adding a postage edge, or not a postage edge, I'm sorry, a notebook edge to the very bottom. And if you have any kind of border punch, you could use scallops, you could use zigzags. I think it would look just as nice. I'm going to go ahead and adhere. I have some checkered paper. I wanted to add that to my card too, but I ended up cutting a 1/4-inch strip of that checkered paper. We're going to tape this just above our notebook edge. So red paper underneath our notebook edge, and then our checkerboard piece just above. Okay, I think it's coming along. I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to my sentiment, and we are going to tack down our sentiment to our circle. I'm going to go ahead and put this whole entire panel up with fun foam, and then place this directly on my card base. You can see this is the A2 panel. The white one is that I just trimmed 3/4 inches off the bottom. Okay, it kind of looks like a serving plate. That wasn't intentional, but I just love how different it looked. I'm going to add my little mouse and then my two little red leaves right next to him. And then all we have left to do is add some sparkle. So I'm going to bring in some red gems. I'm going to add a few to the left of my little mouse here, and then a few down here on the right side. But that finishes my card today for Newton's Nook Designs. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little bit different, but I love the outcome. I hope you, if you are interested in any of the products, guys, they'll be listed down below. But have a fabulous day. Thanks so much for stopping by. We will see you again real soon.